I also have another question, and this is about China. I suppose that what this whole coronavirus has taught us is that perhaps we rely far too heavily in terms of manufacturing on China. What do you think can be done about that? What do you think the future relationship?
I completely agree. I think Donald Trump was prescient in the way that he identified, the problems with China, which he identified obviously well before COVID. And people were very reluctant to support him in the trade battle that he commenced with them. But actually I think we've now got a global awareness as a result of his efforts about how mercantilist the Chinese approach to trade is. Mm-hmm. And it's, it beggars belief, frankly, that the EU has signed this new investment agreement with China with minimal requirement for them to improve their employment laws. But I forget about human rights, They've just turned a complete blind eye to all of that. They've foisted all sorts of obligations on the United Kingdom, which has been a leading light in championing human rights across the globe. Yes. Including being one of the first countries to abolish slavery, even though BLM and so on don't seem to recognize that. But, the EU signed up to China without any such restrictions. So I think China needs to be held to account. I think we should be very nervous of China's expansionist approach, its mercantilist approach to trade, what it's doing in the Southeast Asian sphere, taking, all those islands it's building. I think we've got to really have one careful eye on China.
Definitely. Not to mention the genocide as well, apart from the fact that they lack basic human employability rights and things. So.
Yeah, well, the Uyghurs have had a pretty tough time with it, haven't they?
Yeah. But there is a new China research group in Parliament, so I'm keeping an eye on that, and I think there's some hope that MPs will hopefully raise awareness.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it's that the China Research Group's being led by the fantastic Sir Ian Duncan-Smith and Tom Tugendhat, who's of course the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, and is very passionate on Chinese affairs, to say the least. And he speaks very well on how we should be very cautious and careful on our dealings with China in the future. And
he was very early to get on it, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah.
About China is that they seem to be building this whole new world order, basically centered on their kind of empire. So it's something I think should be definitely on the agenda, something to think about in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's, unless you've got any more questions, Alice, for Ben, I think that's about it from me. And unless you've got any more comments that you'd like to make, Ben.
No, I mean, I think we've covered a very broad array of subjects. I wish the Prime Minister the best of luck in all his endeavours, and getting the country back on its feet again. I think Boris Johnson's, heart is as a libertarian, but he's somehow got into this cul-de-sac of state control and lockdown, and it's very hard to get out of that cul-de-sac. And I just hope he has the courage to do it. And I hope he has the courage to really stand up to the European Union for the people of this country and for the Union of the United Kingdom. I think that's so vital he does it.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you as ever, Ben. Really appreciate that. And thank you for coming on, having a chat with us this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Great to see you too.